Hey folks, welcome back to another video of the Flutter Development course brought to you by Newton School. My name is Harsh and I am currently working as a Flutter developer at Hope, and I have worked as an intern at Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. I have also been a Flutter developer intern at a firm named AppScript, and apart from that I have also been teaching Flutter, and I have more than 40,000 plus enrollments on my Flutter development courses available on Udemy and Unacademy, so you can check them out as well. Talking about what Newton School is, so basically Newton School is a platform that helps you to learn and develop the skills that you need for your best tech career. They have courses specifically designed for freshers, working professionals and for women with no prior experience in tech. Newton School first trains you for 6 months and helps you become a full stack developer. They have tie-up with more than 300 plus great companies who hire directly from Newton School. So once your training is complete, Newton School also ensures that you are placed with one of the best companies in the country. And apart from that, they are also having a pay after placement program where you don't have to pay anything to Newton School until and unless you are placed with a minimum CTC of 5 lakh rupees per annum. And that is a pretty amazing thing which they are having. They have also another amazing initiative known as Launchpad, where they are providing you with some of the courses for free of cost, and you will also be getting a certificate of completion after completing those courses. So make sure to check them out as well. Now talking about what would be covered in this video. So in this video we are going to cover the remaining part of our app. So we'll be completing the app, and majorly we'll be working on the sign up screen and the sign in screen. So these are the two things which are remaining for now. We'll be working on each of these entirely from scratch. So yeah, and one more thing, like in the end I'll be showing you the final output for the project, for the UI, and how it has come out to be. So we'll be seeing that as well. So let me switch my screen and let's start working on the same. So herein you can see that I have already switched the screen and have opened the app on which we were working on previous two videos. So in the previous two videos I have already shown you the implementation of how you can add this sign up thing and the sign in thing, and how you can add the sliding left route and the sliding right route. Apart from that, we have also seen how you can add these social sign in icons over here at the bottom of the screen. So these are the things which we have already covered, and in this part of the video we'll be continuing from where we left, and most probably we'll be completing the sign up and the sign in screen as well. So yeah, let's start without wasting any more time. So at first I'll be going inside the sign up page, that's the sign up page.dart file, and replacing the container with a scaffold. Inside the scaffold, adding a body as a container, and this container would be like having a text widget as its child which says sign up screen, and this text widget will be having the sign up screen text which I have added being displayed on the top left. So I need to take care of that. And apart from that, I'll be doing the similar thing inside the login screen as well. So adding a text widget which says login screen over there by replacing the container, and obviously adding a scaffold in the place of that container. So I have added both of these for the sign up and the sign in screen. Now next up we'll be first working on the sign up screen. So I'll be going into the sign up page.dart file. So for that I have added some things over here, like I have added a form key, I have added a string with the email and password and name. I have added two variables of type password visible and is loading. I have added an init state which will be setting the value of the two boolean variables which we are having. And apart from that, I have also added a single child scroll view and a column as a child of that single child scroll view. And inside that column we are having a gesture detector as the top level widget, and we are having behavior to that gesture detector added, and this will be basically for popping out the screen, and a child as well inside this gesture detector of type center, which takes a container of height and width as 48 each, and some decoration. Shape will be circular. And after this gesture detector, I'll be adding a padding widget which will be having a padding of top value 15 and bottom value 15. And apart from that, for the right and left padding, I'll be adding it on the basis of media query dot size, media query dot of context dot size. I'll be making the right padding equal to 15% of what the width is, and the left padding will also be in the similar format to be equal to the 16% of whatever the width of the screen is. So I'll be adding it in that format. Next up, I'll be adding some commas, so formatting could be better. And for the child of this padding, I'll be adding a center widget which takes another child of type text and says welcome. Some styles will be added to it as well. And after this, like I have added the styles, and after this padding that's present inside the column, I'll be adding another widget of type container, which will be having a height of media query dot of context dot size dot height. And after that it will be 55% of the original height, whatever it is having, because we need to match the height of the sign up widget which we have added in the main screen. The login sign up page dart file, we have added it to it over there as 55%, and the width was 45%. So we'll be doing a similar thing over here. For the width, like I have kept it similar, because like we want the width to be utilized entirely, and only the spaces for the padding which we have added should be over there. Rest entire width should be occupied. And next up, adding the padding of left as 15% of what the width is for this container, and from the right as well adding it to be 15% of whatever the width is. Now coming back to the container, adding a child over here. So for the child of this container, it will be having a padding which will be having value of 28 from top. And for the child of this padding which we have just added, we'll be having a form. So basically some text fields will be added inside, or text form fields would be added inside this form. And for the key, we'll be specifying the underscore form key 1, which I have added on the top. And for the child of this form, it will be having a column. So for the column, I'll be specifying the cross axis alignment over here. So the cross axis alignment would be equal to cross axis alignment dot center. And for the children's, we'll be adding those children's inside this column, starting with the padding widget. So padding widget would be equal to, or padding widget will be having the bottom padding of 18 at first. And after that padding widget, it will be having another child as a type of text which will be saying sign up, and it will be having some styles as well. So let me add them. And after adding these styles, when I click on this sign up, you can see over here how the screen is sliding and how it is appearing over here. Like sliding from the left part of the screen and the going entirely towards the right part, and this welcome and sign up text is appearing, along with a circular widget on the top having a back arrow. And yeah, next up we need to add some more fields inside this the column which we have added. So for that, I'll be adding a padding which will be having the padding of value 6 from left and right. Next up, adding a child which will be of a type text form field, and herein I'll be specifying some properties like the cursor color, the styles for that text form field which I have added, the decorations which takes an input decoration. For the input decoration, I'll be specifying the hint text, the hint style, the font weight, and the letter spacing. Next up, I'll be adding the label text for the user to get to know what this field is for, and the label style as well, so that it appears in a better format. The color would be specified inside the label style, and I'll set the value for this enable border with the help of the outline input border to make the border customizable and in a format that we want it to be. So let me do that as well. After this enabled border is completed, I'll be adding a focused border over here. So basically the focus border would be similar to the enabled border which we have added above, and I'll be adding a common border as well, which will also be equal to what we have added above. So copy pasting the things over here, and after that I'll be creating another property of type on changed inside this text form field, which will be basically triggering each time when you are changing the value of the text or whatever is present inside the text form field. So it will be triggering that on change thing each time, and this on change takes a value which is basically the value which is being changed. So yeah, this value could be used for setting up the value of the variables which we have created above. So I'll be doing the same thing, like updating the value of name variable. And next up, I have added a validator. So if you don't know like why we are adding all of these things, then you can check out my initial videos where I have shown you the implementation for each of the important widgets which people use in Flutter. or which Flutter developers use a lot, so you can check those videos out as well. And yeah, the validator is basically for validating the input which we are getting from the user, such that the field does not remains empty or the characters are more than a particular limit and stuff like that. So we have added those over here for this purpose, and it will be returning some text. For us it is returning please enter correct values. And yeah, the return statement could be anything according to your need. And yep, as I have created a text form field, I'll be copying it and I'll be pasting it few more times. So not few more times, I'll be pasting it one time for next form field. And basically I'll be changing some of the data, like the top padding would be now 15 and the hint text would be enter your email. And apart from that, the label text would also change and the font size will also change, like the font size should be 16 for now, and the label text would be saying email. And apart from that, the value would be set to email over here. And also adding a validator as well for like regression purpose. So I won't tell you how you will get this regression. You directly have to Google about this if you want to know about how we are setting the regression value. But this is the regression value which you need to check to see if the particular value or particular input which user has made for this email field is equals to or is an email or not. Basically, like it is having an @ a dot, and it is ending with .com, .in or stuff like that. So you can make a check over there according to your regression. And I have added a regression for the same over here. And after that regression, I'll be adding a .has match. So it will be checking if it has a match with the value which we have set over there. And saving it, it will be displaying us with that particular email field. And one more thing, like I have added the email valid boolean variable, which will be checked inside the if which will be used to check or make a check inside the if condition to return the statement if the field is not appropriate or field is not correct. So this is the thing which will be taking place over here. Now I'll be copying this particular field again and pasting it for the third form field, which will be for the password. So making the obscure password as password visible. So if the user has changed the value of password visible, or the user has clicked on show password once, so the value of password visible would be changing, and accordingly the value of obscure text would be changing. Obscure text is used for showing you the password or making the password not password, basically the data which is present inside the text form field in a form of particular characters. As in for password we have stars, we can also set a random character, but yeah, it is used for that particular purpose. And yep, I'll be changing the value of these as well according to my need, as I did for email. And value of the set state data would be changed as well. And I'll also add an icon over here which will be used for showing the password. So icon visibility and icon off. Changing the label text, and the set state value will also be used for setting the password. Removing the email valid regex which we have, because we don't need the password to be checked through that regression. So that's why removing that, and changing the return text as well. So saving it, it will be displaying us with the password field, which you can see that is working fine for now. And now we need a button for the submission of this particular form, so we'll be adding that. For that, at first there would be a gesture detector behavior, and it will be having a child as padding. Gesture detector will be having an on tab which will be checking the credentials and setting the value of underscore is loading variable which we have created initially to true. For the child of it, it will be having a padding, and it will be having a padding of 20 from top. It will be having a child as a container of height and width as 48. Basically it will be a copy of the widget that's displaying on the top, the circular widget with an arrow being displayed. So it will be mostly a copy of that, just the colors would be changing according to our need. And we'll be having a spin kit double bounce as well being displayed, which is a kind of a loader for the user to know that the data is being processed in the backend, and you will be displayed with the output accordingly in a few minutes. So that's why we have added that over here, and that would be displayed on the conditional basis, like on the value of underscore is loading variable. So that's why I've added it in a ternary form. And now you can see that when you'll be clicking on that button, it will be showing you with that spin kit double bounce widget which I have added over there. So it will be showing you with that. and yep, saving it like it is restarting the app. It will be showing us with the screens like the sign up screen at first. Clicking on the sign up screen, you can see that the routing is working fine, the popping and pushing, and apart from that we have the fields as well being displayed in an appropriate format. The name field, email field, and the password field is also working fine, and the password visible and invisible thing is also working fine. And apart from that, this button to sign up the user or making the request, although we are not making a request, but yeah, the button is also working fine with the gesture detector being added to it. So now let's start working on the sign in screen as well, because that is the only thing remaining for now. So for that, I'll be going into the sign up page.dart file, and I'll be copying the initial things which we have created, like the values for the email, password, password visible, loading, form key, etc. So I have copied those. Next up, inside the scaffold, adding a container which takes a single child scroll view, then a column, and that column will be having multiple children, which I'll be copying from the sign up page.dart file. So directly going in there, copying the gesture detector at first, pasting it over here, and next up changing the arrow over here, because earlier we have to go towards the right side, so that's why the arrow was in that format. But now changing the value of the arrow, and now you can see that the routing is working fine. Next up, copying this padding as well for welcome. So after this gesture detector, I'll be pasting it, and I need to import Google Fonts. The values would be changed as well by a bit, and this welcome would be saying welcome CK. And the font, there would be some more properties which would be added to the styles of this text which is appearing inside the sign in screen. So I'll be adding some more styles over here, and the font weight would also be added over here inside this style. Now the next thing which oh my bad, I have added welcome CK. I need to add welcome back. Now it looks pretty good. Next up, copying this entire padding widget which is having the 3 text form fields and the background color of blue, and also it was having the button that was being used for enter, for like displaying the spin double kit bounce, basically that the data is being processed in the background. So I'll be copying that entire padding over here and pasting it inside the login page.dart file after this padding, and importing the things which are needed. So here you can see that it is being displayed in a different format than what than how it was being displayed in the sign up screen, because I have made some changes, and still we need to make some more changes. Like we need to add a forgot password widget over here, which will be basically for taking you to the forgot password screen, although we won't be adding that screen over here. So let me add that quickly. So at first, gesture detector which will be printing forgot my password, and it will be having a child as padding, having a padding of top value 12 and right value 6. For the child, it will be having a container. For the container, the child would be a text saying forgot password and having some styles added to it. And apart from that, yeah, that looks pretty good for now. After this child, for the forgot password, I can set the alignment as well. So I'll be setting the alignment as center right, so that forgot password goes towards the right part of the container. And now when I clicked on forgot password, you can see that forgot my password was being displayed in the debug console as a print statement. And typing in the fields as well, the fields are working fine. The obscure text is also working fine, and clicking on this button as well, it's working fine for now. When I'll be going back towards the screen, it's also working fine, like the navigation and the options which are available over here. These are just for display purpose, so such that the user is able to see the UI which we are going to make, and it matches the original UI which we were working on. So yeah, you can see over here the final output, how it looks. So yeah, this was how the final output for the app was, and in this video I have covered about how you can complete the sign up and the sign in screen, and we have made the UI for that totally from scratch. And this was pretty much it for this video. If you got to learn something new, then make sure to drop a like, comment down your views and what you would love to see in the upcoming videos. Share the video with the people in your community who want to learn Flutter, and subscribe to the channel to get all the latest updates related to the Flutter development course going on. New videos posted every alternate day, so make sure to subscribe as well. And yeah, this was pretty much it for this video. Make sure to check out Newton School and Launchpad through the link given in the description, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.